while humor today. I'm Juliana, and in today's video we are going to talk about my wrap-up of the month of December. So, I'll be talking about the books that I read this month. I'll talk about also the books that I'm currently reading, and then at the end of the video I'll be talking about the movies and TV series that I've been enjoying this month. So beginning with the books that I read in December, I finished this month Electric Dreams by Philip K. Dick. This is a book that is a compilation of short stories. I'm not sure, but I think there are 10 short stories. They are all in a genre of science fiction, and I have here two syntheses of two short stories. I don't remember the title, so I'm sorry. But just for you just to give you a taste of what you will find in this book. The first one is about the threat of a nuclear war, and it talks about a boy who is in school. He's maybe an 8-year-old boy, and they are selling bunkers so people can protect themselves from this imminent war. And his family is the only one in this class that doesn't have a bunker. This because his father believes that all of that is a hoax, and just so they can take the money. And so it's all about the endeavor of this boy to convince his father to buy the bunker. So that's one. The other one is about a man who goes on a trip, a work trip, and when he comes back, his wife notices that he's changed, and she becomes worried and asks for help. But then she realizes that he came back better, with a better mood, a better behavior, and so she becomes infatuated by the change of her husband, and soon realizes that she doesn't want any help. And then that's quite funny how that develops in the story. And at the end, the thing that stays, that he is perhaps an alien. So that's the thing of the story. So there you have it. This is the two stories that are contained in this short story collection, and I really enjoyed. I thought they were quite different, quite bizarre, so I really enjoyed this one. Next, I finished Lady Susan by Jane Austen. This one I have mixed feelings about. I made a video about this one. I'll be linking in the cards and down below. So please go watch it if you want to see more in depth my thoughts about this book. The thing is, I thought this was quite different from the characters that Jane Austen is used to write. So this is an older woman, the protagonist, and she's almost a villain in a way, because she doesn't really care if her actions affect other people. She only cares about her own needs. So in a way I like the story because of that. But on the other hand, I thought the story was quite dull. So it wasn't really a story that caught me. So was kind of bittersweet. Then another one that I finished this month was Atomic Habits by James Clear. I also have a video about this one. I really talk in depth in that video about this book. I'll be linking also in the cards and down below. I really enjoy this one. He talks about how we can create habits and maintain habits in a healthy way, and how we can create our routine with good habits And the key point with this book is you have to start small. So you have to start by the beginning with really, really small steps. It's like the title says, atomic, small. So I really advise you to read this one. I think this is a fantastic book. This is not groundbreaking or anything, but you will be ending this book with a different perspective, because I think that we are used to think that if you want to take a change in your life, you have to go big and revolutionize everything in your life. So you have to go big or go home. And with this book you'll see that's not what the author says. He has a quite different perspective about that topic, and I think this is more realistic and more doable. So I really advise you to read this one. Then I finished Why War by Albert Einstein and Sigmund Freud. I also have mixed feelings about this one. When I read this book, I went with the idea that this was an interaction between these two men. I thought it would be a coming forward of responses between them, and that's not what happens. Here we have a letter from Albert Einstein to Sigmund Freud introducing the topic like a challenge, and then we have a response from Sigmund Freud about how talking about the origins of violence, that maybe it's in our genetics and other things. So I was quite disappointed by this book, because that's it. That's a letter from Einstein and then a response from Freud, and that's it. So I was really let down. I don't think that it was enough, It's interesting. I have to admit something. I didn't quite understand all the things that Freud talked about. So that was another thing. I understood some things, but the most part, it completely caught me off guard and was like a train coming through, and I didn't understand. So maybe it was my fault. I came to this book with high expectations and I became frustrated. So I advise still you to read. I think it is interesting, but go to the read of this book with that on mind. It's just a letter from Albert Einstein and a response from Freud. Okay, so then I read two books from the same author, Gregório do Vivier. This is a Brazilian humorist. I read Sonnets and I read Sísifo. From these two, I really enjoyed this one, Sonnets. As the title says, it's a compilation of sonnets, and this is quite funny. It talks about love, it talks about politics, it talks about day-to-day life, the things that we say to friends, the things that we do every day. So this is a quite funny book. I really enjoyed it. I laughed out loud. It's quite insightful. It's very satirical, very ironic. So I really enjoyed this one. For my Portuguese viewers, or if you talk Portuguese, I really, really advise you to read this one. You will not regret it. Then Sísifo. Well, this one I really didn't enjoy it at all. As I can understand it, this is a play that Gregorio Duvivier made with Vinicius Calderoni. So I think this was a play that they presented live, and this is something like the screenplay. So for me, it didn't work. I didn't find it funny. I don't know if it didn't translate from, if I would see the show, I would enjoy it more, but in a written form, I didn't enjoy it at all. So this one for me was a letdown. So that was all the books that I read in December. Right now I'm reading Duino Elegies and the Sonnets to Orpheus by Rainer Maria Rilke. I'm also reading Peter the Great by Robert K. Massey, The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson, and Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. Les Miserables I'm reading since June, so it is taking me a long time to read this one. I think I'm almost finished, so maybe in the month of January I'll be finishing this one. And another one that is taking me a long time to read is Peter the Great by Robert K. Massey. I think I'm reading this one since February from last year, yeah. This will be a project that I'll be announcing in the beginning of next month, February. I'm really excited with this project. It's a reading project that I hope you'll be participating. I'll be announcing that in February, as I've said, and I'm really excited. I hope you'll be excited too. So this is a sprinkle of what is to come. So yeah. Now about movies. I'll be talking about 2 movies that I saw in October or November. I think it was October. The first one is 007, No Time to Die. I went and see this one in the cinemas. I really enjoyed this one. I think that the action is well made, quite entertaining, and I really enjoyed the plot twist that the story has. I think it's quite clever, quite interesting. I'm not going to tell you, of course, but I would advise you to see the movie. I think you will enjoy it. It's a bittersweet, the ending, but the way that they thought about one thing that happens is quite clever. I really, really liked it. The other one that I also saw in October was Dune. I'm not sure about this one. I read the book in 2020, and I love the book. It talks about so many things. It talks about politics, biology, geology, climate change. It talks about many things, and it's quite intricate, the story. 5 stars for me. I loved it. The movie, one thing that I can say is that it's really faithful to the story. I think the way that they thought how they could explain the world was quite clever. I saw it with a friend, and my friend didn't read the book, so she didn't have that background, and she didn't really liked it, because what she told me was that she thought that things happened too fast. So some characters just appeared and disappeared without any development. In a way, I agree with her, but that's what happens in movies. The time is short, so maybe if the movie was a bit longer, it could have permitted the development of some characters. But still thinking about this one. I enjoyed the cinematography. I loved it. It's quite beautiful. But I'm still thinking about the movie. I would love if you told me what you thought. If you went and saw the movie, what your thoughts, if you read the books also, and what you thought the transposition of the books to the movie. Tell me all about it. So, now I'm going to talk about the movies that I saw in the month of December. The first one was Spencer. This is a movie about Princess Diana. It's a movie about a moment in time. It's about a Christmas that she passed with the royal family when she still was married with Prince Charles. And she passed there, I don't know where, I don't remember, I'm sorry. But she passed there with her two children. The movie is slow paced, so you have to be aware of that. I love the representation of Kristen Stewart, I think that's her name. I thought she represented Diana really well. I enjoyed this one, but it's quite slow. The other one I saw was Matrix Resurrections. I know this is controversial. Some people think, and I'm also of that opinion, that this movie was not necessary. I think that the trilogy was ended in the right way, and this movie wasn't necessary. But still, I enjoyed it. I'm sorry, sue me, but I enjoyed the movie. I thought that it was a bit romanticized, it was a bit cheesy, but I still enjoyed it. I think for the fans, depending on the fan, some people will love it, some people will hate it. I'm in the middle. I didn't think that was necessary, but in the other hand, I enjoyed it. So, there you have it. Then another one that I saw was Don't Look Up. I loved this movie. It was magnificent. I really advise you to see it. It's a satirical, ironic, all the things. It's scary as well, very scary. To sum up, it's a movie about a comet that is aligned to destroy the Earth, and a group of scientists are trying to warn the White House that this will happen, and the White House doesn't believe it, and when it believes, it doesn't care. So there you have it. It's a movie that it's a representation a bit exaggerated of our reality, but if you think about it, maybe we are not that distant from this reality. I really advise you to see it. I think it points up the key points that show us that perhaps we are going in a path that is quite dangerous for us and quite sad, but it's a movie that is really, really worth it to be seen. So I really advise you to see it. Go and see it. So now about TV series. I'm going to talk about two, one that I saw and one that I'm currently seeing, and then a third that I'm also currently seeing. So what I'm saying, I don't know. I'm sorry. So, Queen's Gambit. I saw it maybe in maybe October. I don't know. I loved it. It's great. I think the cinematography, the story, everything is perfect. And the way it ends, it's chef's kiss. So, this is a TV series about a girl who becomes orphan and she goes to an orphanage, and there she learns to play chess with the janitor. And then we see her life as a professional player. It's wonderful. I think the story is so well written, the characters so well developed, the protagonist is perfect. I don't remember the name of the actress, I'm so sorry, but I think she's perfect. Everything in this series is beautiful. I really advise you to see it. You'll be passing a really good time seeing this series. Then another one that I started seeing last September? I'm sorry, I don't remember. I'm really bad with time. Was Foundation. I saw the first episode and I really enjoyed it. For summarize, this is a series about a world where we are in the future and we are interplanetary, and there is one ruler that they make clones of the ruler. So the idea is that is there just one person forever ruling the world, and a scientist discovers by a calculation that he does that this world and the system of worlds as we know it will perish, and it will take thousands of years so humanity can rebuild itself. And the thing that he thinks is going to shorten that time is to create what he calls a foundation. That is a gathering of all the knowledge there is known to man, so that it only be a certain period of time so humanity can rebuild itself. So that's the main idea, and I really enjoyed the first episode. The second episode, it was quite strange because things happen too fast. There's no justification why certain things happened, and the development of certain characters are too rushed. So I disliked a lot of the second episode, but then the third and the fourth episode, they come back. They regress a bit in the story, and I really liked those episodes. So I'm thinking that I'm going to continue and watch this series. I'm quite enjoying it. Let's see if they keep up with the rhythm and keep up with the story. I didn't read the books. That was something that I was intent to do, but I couldn't help myself and I was eager to see the series, so I began the series. But in my mind, I'm going to read the trilogy, I think it is, of Foundation trilogy next year. So let's see how that goes. Then another series that I'm watching is Black Mirror. This is a series that has some years, but for some reason or another I never saw it, but I'm quite enjoying it. This is a bit progressive series. It talks about the majority of the episodes is in the future, how technology develops and how the consequences that has on our lives. I'm quite enjoying it. It's quite bizarre, quite scary. It shows some things that we think about. If this really happens, we are screwed. But I'm quite enjoying it. So now one series that I'm quite eager to see also is The Wheel of Time. But in this one, I'm going to read the book first. So I'm planning for next year. I read the book, the first book, The Eye of the World, and then begin and see the series. Let me know if you are eager to see this series also. I'm really excited. I heard mixed reviews, so I'm not really sure. I think it's one of that we have to see to confirm. But you just can hope it'll be good. So that's it. That's my December wrap-up. I hope you have enjoyed it. Please subscribe to my channel if you aren't subscribed already. Leave a like. It helps a lot the divulgation of the video and the divulgation of the channel. And that's it. I hope you have enjoyed